Today, in episode 3 of Is It Worth It Wednesday, we're going to be taking a look at the Wyze Thermostat. I'm actually really excited to take a look at the Wyze Thermostat. It seems like Wyze invested a lot of money in R&D, worked with a third-party company called Degree, to deliver us a product that competes with thermostats that are 2 and 3 times its price. Let's talk about features and functionality, which will also help us answer why we might want one. I would say the biggest reason anybody would be updating their thermostat, whether it's smart or not, is if it's broken, and then energy efficiency and cost savings. The first handful of features that we're going to be talking about today, they're all aligned to making this thermostat more efficient and putting money back in your pocket. First, it has advanced scheduling. I really like the usability and the scheduling functionality within the Wyze app. You're not locked into a schedule for weekdays and weekends, so Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. It allows you to be as custom as you want. You can schedule days individually or group days however you like. So for example, you can do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then a different schedule on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then another different schedule on Saturday, Sunday. But you can tailor it to your routines however you like. Additionally, you can set temperatures for when you're home and away and asleep. Other features that work alongside the custom scheduling are home and away detection with and without geofencing, which will just detect whether you're home or away and set the thermostat accordingly. Additionally, it has early on and early off, so if it knows that you're going to be arriving home, it will turn the unit on so that when you do arrive, it's to this temperature that you've set. It also has a more of a unique feature called Coast to Cool. So what happens there, it'll shut the air conditioning air compressor off early and just use the fan to blow the rest of the cool air out of the ductwork to get you to the specified temperature. On top of all this automated scheduling and sensing, you do have the ability to control the thermostat from anywhere via the app. So you can change the mode, you can change the settings remotely at any time, which will override your schedule. This is nice because if you're on a trip or if you have a second home and the weather changes, you didn't plan for it. For example, say it gets really cold and you worry about your pipes freezing, you can just turn up the heat remotely and not have to worry about that any longer. A piece of functionality that I do really like within the Nest, and it's probably present in other smart thermostat apps, is tracking energy usage, which is also a feature within Wyze. I like it because it obviously gives you insight into how much energy you're using, but I also feel like you can use that to identify maybe if something's wrong with the unit. So if you see a spike or a drop in the energy usage patterns, that might cue you to call in a repairman or maybe do some inspection on your own. Another thing I want to mention is this thermostat is compatible with Amazon Echo currently, and they say in the future it'll have connectivity with Google Assistant. The last thing I want to mention is more of a hardware FYI, and that is the thermostat has multiple sensors, multiple temperature sensors and a humidity sensor, all for better accuracy. There are some big updates coming in 2021, both hardware and software, that I think will take this thermostat to the next level, so I do want to talk through them a little bit. The software updates are centered around algorithms and learning. The first is auto scheduling. I guess that's kind of like the Nest learning feature. It updates your schedule based on your habits. There's another update called Feels Like Temp, which factors in things like humidity to more accurately get you to the temperature you want. They have filter-based reminders on actual usage. It does have filter reminders currently, but they're based on pre-decided lifespan. So for example, you could put in, my filter lasts for 3 months. Once you plug that in, it'll start a countdown 3 months down. There's also a feature called Smart Radiance, which takes into consideration the time it takes to warm up your radiator if you use a radiator for heat. The hardware update is a 3-in-1 sensor: temperature, humidity, and motion. I love the idea of these sensors because there's always a room in the house that stays too hot or gets too cold. And by adding a sensor, you just give the thermostat a little bit more data, and then it can use that to decide when and how to run. Another thing I want to mention on this topic is that Nest has sensors. The way that Nest uses their sensor is it can either use the temperature from the thermostat or the sensor to achieve your desired temperature. So it's one or the other. Ecobee, on the other hand, has sensors, and it aggregates the thermostat temperature and the sensor temperature to get you to your desired temperature. So I'm really curious how Wyze is going to use their sensor. So if anybody from Wyze is watching today's video, comment down below and let us know. Let's talk about the installation. In full transparency, I was able to successfully install this thermostat, but it was my third attempt and my third house. Not personally my third house, but the third house I tried it on. I will say that the first house, it just wasn't compatible. And I didn't check that before I started to install it. I got to that step within the app and I found out it wasn't compatible. That's nothing against Wyze. That's really just a misstep on my part and something for you guys to learn from my mistake. If you are going to be buying this thermostat or any thermostat, a lot of them do have compatibility checkers online. So shut your unit off, pop off your existing thermostat, see what wires are currently connected, plug that into the compatibility checker and see if it's compatible with your unit. It'll save you a lot of time and headache. The second house I tried to install it in on was my own house. My house has a 2-zone system, and I followed the instructions to a T. It felt like the installation went really well and it just wasn't working. I tried to troubleshoot it and I couldn't figure it out. And that was pretty frustrating. So then I asked another friend, which was the third house, and I was able to install it successfully. I had to use the C-wire adapter, and both of those things together, I would say it only took about 25-30 minutes. I think that's what they say on the box. But keep in mind, I had already installed it or half installed it 1 or 2 times, so I had good context there. That might have sped up the process. I think maybe on your first attempt, it'll take, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than 30 minutes, depending on the existing configuration that you have. I will say that Wyze does do a good job with the instructions. The instructions are pretty comprehensive, but clear, and they do give you the option of watching a little video, I think on every step, and if not every step, a large majority of the steps that'll walk you through that particular step or help you understand, what that step's about and what you are doing. All right, so let's wrap this video up. The things that I really like are the overall design. I think it looks good on the wall. I think it has a good form factor. I also really liked the ease of scheduling and the level of customization that you have within the app. And I really like what Wyze has coming down the pipe this year and the fact that they continue to invest in the product and improve it. I'm not in love with the physical screen on the thermostat. I think it's just lackluster, especially relative to the competition that it has. I'm not sure how important that is or how often you'll be using the thermostat versus the app or just letting the automation happen. Additionally, I don't like that the sensor isn't available right now. If your existing thermostat's broken and you have to invest in a new thermostat, competition does have sensors out there. It's definitely something to consider. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. The price of the thermostat, including the C-wire adapter, is $59.99, and I think at that price, it is totally worth it. It's priced similar to dumb thermostats with the features of some of the top tier smart thermostats. Putting the installation issue aside, do I think that I would be replacing my Nests with the Wyze right now? Or if I had similar thermostat to the Nest, would I be replacing them for Wyze? No, but I definitely would be continuing to track the enhancements to the Wyze, and I could be pushed over the edge to even buy and attempt to install again. Another big thing I want to talk about is that when you are shopping for these, a lot of utility providers offer rebates on thermostats or smart thermostats. I have PSE&G, and I recently saw the ecobee 3 for $49, which is a huge curveball. I think that's a great deal, and truthfully, I would probably get the ecobee 3 at $49 before I would buy the Wyze. So make sure that you check with your utilities providers before you start shopping. You can find some really good deals, and you want to make sure that you're aware if they're available or not. I hope you guys found this review valuable, and if you did, make sure you subscribe and you hit that like button. And click here for another one of our great reviews. Thanks. We'll see you in the next one.